Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Jenny. If today is your first time in this channel, thank you for stopping by, and also thank you to my old subscribers for all your support. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share this video so that YouTube can keep on recommending it to those who may also want to learn from it. Today's video is the simplest way to cut a corset for a big bust, so let's get into it. Welcome again, soulmates. I have the materials that will be needed for today's tutorial. So here with me I have my bra cup. It's size 40, and I also have this plastic boning and Regiline boning. I have 4 yards of each of them, and I have my warden, my gum stay, which is also known as interfacing. I also have my lining, and I have the main fabric. So these are the measurements that I'll be using for today's tutorial. So the first thing to do is go ahead and mark out 1 inch from the top of the paper. You see me doing? So that is going to serve as the starting line. So after marking it out, I'm going to place 6 inches. So I'm going to off 6 inches. That is how off the person wants it to be. So you can use 4 inches, 5 inches. You can go as low as 8 inches. Then placing my 6 inches on that starting line, I went down by my armhole length 8.5, my bust point 11 inches, my under bust 14.5, and also my half length 17.5. So all these points, I'm also going to be marking it right here. We all know that corset is more beautiful when it's very low, so you don't have to make it too high, like 4 inches. At least 5 inches is okay, so don't make it too high. But this is a very big bust, so that is why I'm using 6 inches. I went ahead to label out the lines. So coming to the under bust, I'm going to divide the nipple to nipple measurement of this person by 2. So when I divided it, I got 4 inches. Going to be placing that 4 inches on the lines like this. So our nipple to nipple measurement is 8 inches. So I divided it by 2. I got 4 inches. So coming to the starting line, instead of placing 4 inches for the bust span, I'm going to add extra ½ inch to it, making 4.5 inch. So after that, I'm going to connect it to the bust points, as you see me doing like this. So just go ahead and connect it to the bust points. So after connecting, guys, this is what it's looking like. So it's for us to take out our dart. So I marked out 1.5 at both sides, so as you see me doing, and also on the waistline 1.5 towards the center front and 1.5 towards the side front. So all together it's making 3 inches. So on the bust point, go down by ½ inch and go up by ½ inch. So this is to prevent any sharp points at that area of the bust line. So I'm just going to make a curve right like this, connecting it from the under bust to that ½ inch we came down from the bust points. So just watch what I'm doing. So we need to take out our dart at that starting line. So that starting line is going to serve as the shoulder line. So I marked 1 inch at both sides, as you see me doing. So after that, I'm just going to be connecting it to that ½ inch we came up from the bust point. You see what I'm doing? So after that, you can see how the shape of the bust is already coming out. So at this part also, I'm going to be curving it out like this. So guys, this is what it's now looking like. So we advise you to know how to draft out a proper bustier before going into drafting out a corset. So coming to the upper part, I'm just going to be using a neck width of 11 inches. So for a small bust, you can use 10 inches. For a plus size, you can use 12 inches. So I'm using 11 inches for the bust of 40 inches. So I divided that 11 inches by 2. I got 5.5. Then I added 1 inch stitching allowance to it, making 6.5. So you can see the way I'm placing my tape from that leg to the center front. So whatsoever you have there, you're just going to place it on this other third dart leg. So just watch what I'm doing. So after that, I'm going to mark my 5.5 right there for the neck width. And like I said, I'm going to add 1 inch stitching allowance to it. So that 1 inch stitching allowance, I'm still going to be trimming it off later. So coming to the chest line, I'm just going to divide my bust measurement by 4. So just divide your bust measurement by 4 like you see me doing like this. Then I got 10.5. So I'm just going to place my tape like this again from the dart leg to the center front. Then I'm going to place whatsoever I have there on the other dart leg. Then I'm going to continue with my 10.5 like this. After marking the 10.5, I'm going to add my 2 inches stitching allowance to it. So just add your stitching allowance to it. So after that, I'm going to be carving out the armhole like this. So you can see what we are having at that part. So coming towards the waistline, so I'm going to place my tape rule like this from that dart leg to the center front. So whatsoever you have there, you're just going to place it on the other dart leg. Then I'm going to continue with my measurements, which is 9.5. So divide your waist measurement by 4. Then I'm going to add 2 inches stitching allowance. So it's time for me to connect the lines together like this. So after connecting the points, you can see that the off-shoulder bustier is out already. So this is how to draft your off-shoulder bustier. We are going to subtract 2 inches as the bust dart. Then at this part, I'm going to go in by ½ inch. So after that, then go ahead and connect the points like this. I'm just going to connect the points like this. So this is going to be the bust dart. So this bust dart, we are going to subtract it from the half length, which is going to give us the half length for the back. So the next thing for us to do is to cut this out. I'm just going to be cutting it out like this. So coming to the waist dart, I'm going to slash it open. So after slashing it open, then on the bust dart, I'm going to be closing it down. So you can see how I'm closing it down. Then I'm going to hold it down with my sellotape. So you can see what I'm doing. So after holding down the bust dart, so coming to the neckline, I'm going to be using a sweetheart neck. So I placed my tape on that 6 inches, then I came down by 7.5, which is going to be for the sweetheart neck. Then after that, go ahead and close that dart at the upper part like you see me doing like this. So then I held it down with my sellotape. You can see that there's a shortage at that part. So I'm just going to blend everything up like this, still drawing out my sweetheart neck. So you can see what I have. So that is what we call contouring. So it's best you close down your dart, then you just contour everything properly so that you're not going to have a shortage at any part when sewing them down. So guys, this is what we have. Honestly, I did not know that the cutting part was not recording, but then I've gone ahead to cut it out, and this is what I have. So right now you can see that there's a shortage at the side. So I'm going to hold it down with my tape. After that, I'm going to blend that part up like this, then cut off the excess. So after cutting off the excess, you can see what we have. So coming to this part, which is the center front, I went in by 1/2 inch. You can see what I'm doing. That is how I got that line cup. So this is going to be the distance between each cups. You can see we have the right cup and the left cup. So at this part, I'm just going to place my tape like this. Then you go up by 1.25. So after that, just connect from the bust point all the way to the under bust like this. So right at this top, I'm also going to go in by 1/2 inch. Connect it like this. So you can see that this part of the cup is out already. So we are going to be doing the same for these other parts of the bustier. So what we are going to do is I'm just going to rule down my armhole. So you can see where I marked my 10.5 for the bust divided by 4 I did initially. You can see, so that part I'm going to divide what I have there by 2. So when I divided it by 2, you can see me marking out what I got right there. So just place your pattern master properly like this, then just curve it out and take it all the way to the under bust. So after curving, this is what I have. So then I'm going to be cutting it out like this. So just watch the way I'm cutting it out so that you'll be able to cut yours out properly. So guys, after cutting, this is what I have. So it's very necessary for you to indicate the cups, because most of the time it may look so confusing, and to avoid any issue of misplacing the cup, so I have the S, which is the side, and the C, which is the center front. So then coming to this part, I'm just going to be holding it down with my tape, because this is going to have a basque waist. So I'm just going to hold it down with my tape. So after holding it down with my tape, I went ahead to bring in another paper. So then I'm also going to be holding the papers together with my tape like this so that it will not move. So after taping these parts, coming to the side, I went down by 1 inch. So I went down by 1 inch, and this 1 inch will be added to my half length, so making 18.5. So the front half length now is 18.5. So remember, we took out 2 inches for the bust dart. Then coming to the center front, I went down by 5 inches, which is going to be the length for the basque waist. So you connect it this way like this, so you can see what I'm doing. So I went ahead to connect it. So after connecting this, I'm just going to be cutting this off. So just watch the way I'm cutting it off like this. So mind you, the half length of the back is going to be shorter than that of the front because of the bust that we took out. So coming to the back, I've gone ahead to rule out my starting line, and this is the center back. So this is not going to have a zipper. So placing my 6 inches on the starting line, I marked out my armhole length. Then, like I said earlier, for the half length is going to be 16.5. So I minused the bust dart, which is 2 inches from the front half length. So 18.5 minus 2 inches, and I got 16.5. So it's 16.5 I marked out for the back half length. So coming to this part, I'm going to be marking out my neck width of 5.5. Then I added 1 inch stitching allowance, just like the front neck width. So coming to the chest line, I'm going to divide my bust measurement by 4. Then I'm going to place my stitching allowance of 2 inches right there. So after that, go ahead and connect the armhole. So coming to the waistline, divide your waist measurement by 4. Add my 2 inches stitching allowance and 1 inch for that, because the back is going to have a dart. So I'm going to connect the points together like this. So coming to the waist again, I'm going to input my bust span of 4 inches, then also on the chest line and the starting line. So you see me doing. So then connect the points together with a straight line like this. So after connecting it, I'm going to mark out ½ inch at both sides of the line. Then on the chest line, go down by ½ inch. So after that, I'm going to connect my darts like this. So just go ahead and connect your darts like this. So after drafting out the dart, you can see what the dart is looking like. So at the top, I'm going to be having like a curved neckline. So you can leave yours straight like this, but I'll be coming down by 1 inch. So I want the back to have like a curved neckline like this. So you can see what I have here. So after that, like I said, this is not going to have a zipper. So I'm going to be using a loop for the back. So from the center back, go in by 1.5. So if you want the back to be more wider, you want your back to reveal much, you can go in by 2 to 3 inches. But my client does not want the back to reveal much, so I went in by 1.5. So these are the places where the loop will be placed on. So coming to that neckline, I marked out 0.25. So that is going to serve as the back tightening. So this is very necessary for you to tighten the back, so that by the time the person wears the clothes, it's going to relax well at the back area. So then I went ahead to cut this out. So it's always good for you to indicate with arrows or sign on your patterns, so that by the time you transfer them to your clothes, you are not going to make a mistake. So guys, I've gone ahead to transfer all the patterns on my fabric. You can see what I have right there. So this is going to be our next video. So thank you very much for sticking by. Thank you for your time. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Bye.
Talk to you, dripping wet. Nervous when I speak, so I trip on my